This man was driving and talking to his co-workers. Next thing you know, they're in a car accident. Ethan wakes up in the middle of the woods. His wallet and cell phone are gone. His co-worker, who was driving, is gone. A headache makes him pause to think about it. He stumbles out of the woods into a strange town. Passers-by gave him strange looks. Ethan braced himself and walked into a diner. He asked the front desk where this place was.
You're in Wayward Pines, Idaho?
At this point, Ethan couldn't hold on any longer. He fell to the ground and passed out. He woke up in a hospital. The nurse told him he had multiple fractures and a concussion. Apparently he'd been in a bad car accident. Luckily, he was able to recover in a few days. At this point, Ethan's memory was slowly returning. He remembered why he and his colleagues were here, to find the two missing agents. They were in a car accident right off the bat. Ethan asked the nurse, "Have you seen my colleagues?" The nurse regretted that his colleague had not survived. His colleague did not survive. This was very difficult for Ethan. He wanted to call his wife to tell her about his situation, but the nurse said the hospital didn't have communication because the ringing would disturb the patient's rest. She told Ethan to stay here and relax. Then she turned around and left the hospital room. Ethan, a secret agent, didn't believe her. He put on his clothes and got ready to leave because he realized he was the only patient in this hospital. But when he pressed the elevator, the nurse suddenly appeared behind him to stop him. Ethan ignored her and walked straight into the elevator. She advised Ethan that it would be best if he didn't leave. Ethan was adamant and the nurse didn't try to stop him. Then he went into a bar. He asked the waitress, Amy, for a phone, but the call didn't go through. It went to a voicemail. He left a message for his wife and hung up. He asked Amy about the two missing agents, but Amy said she had no recollection of them. Yet just as Ethan was about to leave, Amy handed him a note. She told Ethan it was her address. Now Ethan had no cell phone and no money. If Ethan needed help with anything, he could find her here. When Ethan put the note away, on the back of the note was a strange phrase. But he didn't think much of it. He turned around and left the bar, but he didn't get very far. He heard crickets in the bushes. He reached in, curious, but out of it he grabbed a little bell. That played the sound of crickets. This strange sight puzzled Ethan. He thought it was a town specialty, so he didn't give it a second thought. Then he found a hotel and slept through the morning, but he was woken up by a sharp knock on the door. The owner came to collect the lodging fee. He was thrown out of the room with no money. He took Amy's address out of his pocket, but when he arrived at Amy's place, it was an abandoned house. It didn't even look like it had been lived in. Ethan's calls for Amy went unanswered. It seemed he'd been tricked, but then he pushed open the bedroom door and froze.